You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
Good day and welcome to the Mushie Moment with myself and my awesome co-host, Rev Cindy. We're live today on Tuesday, May 30th, 2023, coming to you on paceradio.net, CBG TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, Voxcast, Roku, and Fire Stick. How you doing today, Cindy?
I'm doing okay. How are you?
I'm doing awesome.
Excellent.
I am.
Excellent.
We have an awesome guest. She's a returning guest. We get to ask questions about all kinds of things since she's been here. So, how's your day going so far?
I'm doing really good. We have some forest fires happening here in Nova Scotia right now. Two very major ones. One of those very major ones is fairly close to me. Although, I'm not threatened by it. I am very close to it. We have lots of smoke from it. And I have a number of family members and friends that have been displaced. I don't think any of them, knock on wood, have lost their homes yet. I think they've just been displaced. But it's made for a very stressful time for everybody here in Nova Scotia. I had to cancel last night's token talk because I was just so tired. From everything going on. But the firefighters, we've had firefighters come from all over the Maritimes, and they don't have it quote unquote under control yet, but they're at least stopping the spread of it as of right now. So they haven't, again, knock on wood, haven't had to evacuate anybody else since late Sunday night. And let's just hope that it stays that way. And as the weather soon starts to help them with some rain on Friday, they'll be able to win the fight against the fire with any luck.
So we want to tell everybody watching this, hey, rain. Just not in BC.
Because
Alberta can use it too.
I sure do believe in the power of prayer. I saw it. I swear I saw it with my own eyes on Sunday night and felt it with my own heart. So if we could just all send prayers to all the wildfires across Canada, that would be absolutely lovely. Yeah. But on to happier things. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I wish we had rain. But it's, everybody seems to be trying to stay jovial here in Nova Scotia. The big joke that we have going on right now is, Vancouver seems to have taken our snow in this past winter and seem to have sent us the forest fires, and we want to trade back.
Why don't we just give you the snow and you can keep the forest fires?
No, we don't want the forest fires. we want our weather back.
Yeah, it's a little chilly out there this morning when I was out running around, but it seems to be clearing up and getting sunny.
Yeah.
So,
and how is your day going so far? It is. I mean, you're barely halfway through your day. It is noon out there.
Yeah. You still got to give me the winning lotto numbers. If you're that far ahead, you got to give me the winning lotto numbers like that. Just I'm going to hold that against you.
I'll do my best.
I've looked into the science on it, and
oh boy. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that things are moving along. I wish that we would get rain. We do have rain scheduled for Friday. Apparently, the Weather Network is telling us that we have some rain coming in Friday. It's supposed to be pretty heavy. But let's.
You actually believe those people?
No, but I'm hoping that it's true, and I'm hoping that it comes sooner because we need the rain.
I'm pretty sure out here, all the guy does, he goes, Oh, yeah. He looks out his window. Oh, looks like sunny with some cloudy periods and might be a chance of rain. Could be warm. Just wear shorts and gumboots. You're good. I'd like that gig. Could you imagine being a weather guesser? You can be wrong 80% of the time and you still get paid.
And you still get to keep your job.
Wow. I got in the wrong career.
And then you just blame it on Mother Nature. Well, I guess Mother Nature didn't agree with me today.
Yeah. Is it too late to switch careers?
You have to stay in the one you're in. I think I told you that a number of months ago. No, you're stuck with this one now. You're staying. Yes.
Mushroom cacao drink. Ooh.
In a Nana mug. I don't know what your like, but I have a really cool mug for my cacao.
Yeah, I should be having my, best grandpa mug, but I'm saving.
Notice it doesn't say best Nana, it just says Nana, and Nana looks pretty disheveled.
Is that did your granddaughter draw that of you?
Yeah. Cute mug though. I love it. I think our guest has got her technical issues under control, so we can head that way now.
Okay, should we bring her in?
We should. You want to give her a little intro before you click the button though? I'm
going to. Right now, watch. Hey everybody. We got a real surprise for you. Today on our show, we have Miriam Lòpez, who has been on our show previously. She's a practitioner of Bufo Alvarius, and she came up to Canada for her niece's birth, and she's been staying up here for a while, enjoying Canada and her niece, and supplying some incredible medicine for some people up here. And Cindy and I were both people that got to enjoy a ceremony and the medicine. And we're quite happy to bring her back. So please say hello to Miriam. Hi, Miriam. How you doing?
Hello. Very good. Thank you for the space. I am happy to be here with you.
Oh, we're so happy to have you here.
How are you liking Vancouver so far?
I am enjoying a lot the sun. I am happy that now are sunny days.
Yeah, a bit of a change coming from like the Sonoran Desert type place, and then coming out here and a little bit of rain. But no, our summers are really good. They're only about 3 weeks long though.
You're lucky when you're in Vancouver. In Nova Scotia, it's only 3 days long.
So you came up.
Sorry. And meeting a lot of people here in Vancouver, learning a lot about working with this medicine. Like every time I discover different things, different facilitators, different process of integration process. So yes, I am very, very grateful to be here and to be part of this community that is opening in Vancouver to receive the medicine.
Yeah, it's pretty nice to have that community opening up. And I'm really, really happy that you were able to find your place in there and help it grow as well as them help you grow. That's a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm. I guess a lot of what would happen here, because it's not the same environment that you used to working in, you would get a lot of different data from the ceremonies.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and also because in Mexico, I always work with my partner, but he stayed there. So now that I am working here in Canada, I am like finding support in different people that bring their own medicine, their own way. So for me, it's like very beautiful to share the space in many different ways. like be open for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Anything crazy?
What are you doing? What are you mumbling to yourself, Steve?
I'm trying not to hog the whole thing, so I'm like, hey,
No,
Cindy.
that's okay. I'm enjoying the conversation. I can break in if I've got questions or when I have
Okay.
questions.
Okay. Because otherwise I'm just going to commandeer stuff.
No, and I understand. I've done that to you. So it's power to you. If you've got questions, you ask.
Okay. Well, I do have one because I did a couple of ceremonies with you, and the first one I did with you was one where it was rather different, and I learned afterwards that it was also different for you, because we each had our individual time, but all of the people in the group were there to witness, and for me, watching the power of all the people come together when somebody would struggle, and watch them put the love and the energy and the just coming in to help, and watching that happen, I found was very powerful. And for me, I had, I brought some of my friends up there, and I've seen their lives change, but as mine did. And then afterwards, I found out that you don't normally do that. You would normally do a one-on-one, and the other people would be out. So I'm just wondering, how did you find that experience, as it being a new experience in a new place?
Mm-hmm. The thing that I am learning a lot here is like to flow, like to feel what the people is need at the moment. Because in the past, maybe I would say, no, it's impossible that the group stay here with the person, because I always work one-on-one. But in that case, I feel it that was um, helpful for everybody, like to feel the support of each other. So I opened myself to work in a different way, and I think that was very beautiful, because in the groups, everybody's like resonating or healing through others. So that is very powerful as well. And the other ceremonies, I keep one-on-one. Only I had another little group, like 4 people.
Oh no. Well, that's okay. So we will chat. She will come back. We found this pre-show as well that where she is a little bit sketchy, so she will sadly cut in and out. But that is okay. Steve and I can keep the conversation going, because we have both gone and held space with Miriam, and she has given us time and love, through ceremonies. And our ceremonies weren't one-on-one either. Even though it was only 2 of us, it was still a small group.
Yes. It was, again, all I can say is it's life-changing. You can't see life the same after one of those ceremonies. It, for me, it brought in things that I had believed were possible to feel, but hadn't actually felt them. And to, even if you feel them through the time you're on the medicine and it goes away, it doesn't matter. If you felt it, you can believe it's there, and it's accessible. So now it's, how do I access those feelings without always being on the medicine? And it's learning that pathway, which is a lot about quieting the mind and slowing down, and learning the essence and art of subtle. Those there's a lot of little enjoyments that a person misses if they're not looking for them, or if all they're looking for is the scary things. So yeah,
she's left now, or her ghost has left. That usually means that she has closed out the program. She should be back in a moment. For me, DMT has meant very much what you said, but I find that I'm achieving that through it giving me some ego death every time I go in. I learned to look inside more versus worrying about what everybody around me sees. Does that make sense? So I get the joy of some ego death with every ceremony. And Miriam is back.
There we go.
It's very windy now. I think that the signal is not good because of the wind.
Yeah. Well, I explained to everybody when you were gone that we are experiencing some technical difficulties. So you may pop out and back in a couple of times. So at least we are expecting it. And Steve and I can just continue a conversation that's close. We can talk about
Yeah, we just talk behind your back when you're gone.
Yeah. It's all good stuff, though. It's all good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we were just saying that our ceremony, even though it wasn't a large group, it was only the two of us, it still was group. Steve didn't leave for mine and I didn't leave for his. We stayed together and held space for each other while we were going through ceremony with you. And then we spoke of what ceremonies meant to us, and Steve was stating that it helps him to quiet his mind, and I said that I enjoy a bit of ego death with each Bufo or 5-MeO. It's a very beautiful medicine, and it's very gentle and loving. It's not like I've done other medicines, and I still get a lot of love out of them, and I still get very powerful help out of them. But I mean, other medicines like Sananga or Cambo, which I would not say are enjoyable medicines, but they are medicines. I have found myself with either Bufo or the pure molecule, it's nothing but love for me. I mean, I get beautiful love out of it, and I get some ego death, and it's an absolutely spectacular medicine that I come out with a better outlook on life and a more positive feeling, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. Do you find that people? I found Steve and I had very different ceremonies, and in talking with my other provider who I've told you about, he's told me about some ceremonies with less desirable effects. I don't want to scare anybody, but they've had people where it has taken them into almost a psychosis effect that has lasted a few hours. Have you ever experienced anything extreme like that with any of your people?
No, I have only like a one difficult case. The things that I learning with this medicine, as you say, is like you in that moment the ego dies. So when the people is like very resistant to that die, that's why it's very important the preparation before. When they resist in the moment of the ceremony, they have to work that the next day without medicine. So maybe it's difficult for some people because they are like alone, like struggling with themselves and with these um, like very deep questions like who I am, like what is death, all the feelings like coming out. So it's very intense and very deep. Usually, if the person in the ceremony has their whole experience, normal to have certain resistance because it's like the ego is spending, like he doesn't want to die, so it's very normal. But you have this resistance, and then if you can release, if you allow the medicine to go deeper and surrender to the death, it's like that, you can go to the complete experience, releasing all the pain or all the things that you have carrying. But if the resistance is stronger, you are going to face that the next day because it's when you sit with a medicine is because you want to go deep on yourself. So uh, you are going to take the medicine and you have the opportunity during the ceremony to do that or the days after. But it's like you open the door; it's already there. And I had a case that was very difficult was a man like 60 years old man, and he received a lot in his ceremony. So he struggled a lot the months, like with a lot of fear, also for sleep, for example, because when we go to sleep, we are in this same surrounder. We are trusting that we are going to be alive the next day.
Yeah.
So for him was very difficult this process of trust and surrounder. And in that case, I had to be with them like 1 year, like making therapy and different tools. And the thing is that he changed his life. He starts doing yoga. He starts connecting with the garden and do like very different things that he didn't never in her life. So
Well,
in
when
the
that
first,
ego dissolves, there's the human part of you really starts to struggle with, if I'm not what I thought I believe, like what I believed I thought I was, then what truly am I? And if you've been rigid in your way of thinking that this is all I am, and you do this medicine and you realize that we're a lot more than just this physical form. It's it can be a hard thing to wrap your head around if all you've done your whole life is focus on the belief that this is all there is. I can see that type of a struggle happening, and I've been struggling through even after we did our ceremonies. There was a lot of data came up, and struggling through that data is not always easy. There's things that there's things you hang on to that you feel define you. We've had programs run on us to carry these different energies as things that define you. But really, the only things that truly define you are your love and your honor. Those are the two things nobody's going to steal from you. You have to give them away. That truly that's what you own is your love and your honor, the energies that you exude. But we're trained about so much more. And when we carry all of that stuff that they say we're supposed to carry, man, it
Gets heavy.
yeah. And if you spent your whole life thinking you're that stuff that you're carrying, and you find out, oh, that's just an illusion. Boy, that's
One
yeah.
of the things that after we saw you, I went and did a large dose of mushrooms, and then that's when Steve and I we went the next day and we did the pure molecule 5-MeO, and we did it and I don't know if you can do the Bufo this way, but we put it in the nose so it hits the sternum of the nose, like right at the bottom. And I guess the nerve endings there or whatever there, it picks it up really well. And you get a longer deep dive. So instead of going, when you vape, you take it and like you go from 0 to 1,000,000 in about 0.5 seconds. Like, I mean, and no matter if you're doing the Bufo or the pure molecule, like, I mean, that's when you vape it, like, boom, you're there, you don't get a chance to get used to it. You get a chance to say, okay, I'm letting go. Okay, it's gone. When you inhale it, and you're not really inhaling it because you don't take it all the way in. It only it sits right there. When you take it that way, it takes probably 15 to 20 minutes to take you from 0 to that same spot. It's a very gentle float in. It was absolutely incredible. And then for myself, I did 2 small vape sessions at the end of that. And the second vape session told me what my next intention was going to be. And I wondered for a long time, pretty much since then until about a week and a half ago, what that meant, because it took me on a like the 15-minute, 20-minute trip. And it didn't let anybody come to visit me. I mean, like my family and my friends were represented by birds this entire time. But the pure molecule said, no, they're staying over here. And this is just for you to enjoy. Self-care, self-love. And I finally realized what it meant. It meant that I really need to go. And, Steve said something that made me think of this again. the next time I go into a deep dive medicine, it's to find out who I am, because I have spent almost 52 years being who I was told I am and who I should be. And now that I'm healing, it's time to figure out who I am. And I have no idea who that person is outside of doing some medicine and talking to people on air about medicine. So asking the medicine to introduce me to me is probably my next quest. Hey, can you help me, meet me and get to know me? Because I don't know who I am. Silence.
That's actually that I'm processing that. Yeah. But really, that is the essence of when your ego dissolves. It's like, I thought I was this, so what am I?
What am I? Who am I? But it's the Bufo that really helps you do that. Like, I mean, between, like, whether it's the Bufo from the toad or the 5-MeO pure molecule, I found them very different, but yet almost exactly the same. And it's really hard to explain exactly what that means. What do you think, Steve?
The journeys were similar, but for me, because the pure molecule was longer, my brain was able to process a little more in the time frame. It was like a slower run, because, like you said, when you vape, it's a fire hose of data. You vape, you're there. There's no ramp up. You're there. And for me, I just find myself in that essence of love that I don't know how to describe. We don't have the words to describe it. It's you're just in that place that everything exists from, and in that you resonate in a frequency that, in this language, the only thing we can identify it as is love. And so for the disillusion of me, the person, Steve, the guy that I thought I was, the dad, the this, the that, what it did is it showed me that my true essence is love, and therefore I am love, and that I am the same as everyone else. So all our true essence is love, and in the end, that's truly what we are. We've just what is it? Brian Cox says we're just lucky to be these particles of blown apart stars and planets that have assembled into this energetic form where we can be conscious and think in this moment. And really, we just need to be grateful. And that's one of the biggest lessons I'm learning. 2 lessons. One is observe, and then be grateful that you have the ability to observe.
So he has been hard on, we lost her again.
Oh.
You have been hard on trying to learn how to observe. And I really wanted to say this when Miriam was here, but when she gets back, we should talk about observing with her, maybe after the break.
We're there, aren't we?
Almost, but I'll tell my little story. I throw on I throw on shows that I've watched before, sometimes for background noise as I'm puttering around the house. And currently I'm watching this show, or listening to this show, or whatever you want to call it, Bones. I don't know if you've heard about it. It's about I can't remember what she does, but she, her biggest thing, like she's a scientist, and she teaches other scientists how to do what she does, ones that, have just finished their PhD and whatnot, interns. But this character, her biggest thing is, what do you observe? What are you observing? And it hit me that maybe you need to watch this show and learn from Bones what observing is, because that's what the whole premise of doing what she does is observing what's going on. Yeah, I thought of you a couple of days ago when I was watching it, and then of course I thought of Miriam as well, because she's the one that told you should be observing.
Yes, learning to observe has changed my life. It really has. Learning to observe without opening my mouth while observing.
That's hard one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you come into all of our conversations, Miriam, every single one of them. But I'm going to let Steve take over and take us to commercial, and I'll tell you
because it's break time. It's time to check out our sponsors and pay some bills. You're here with us live on the Mushie Moment on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Boxcast, CBG TV, and paceradio.net. And we'll be right back with Miriam Lopez.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more. We've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Pace Radio is the people advocating cannabis education radio network.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com. CBGTV broadcasting to a worldwide audience. Find us at cbgtv.com.
Are you watching television on Roku, Fire, maybe an Apple TV or even Chromecast? If you are, then download the Boxcast app and search for CBGTV.
Did you know that the Pace Radio Network isn't just a radio network? That's right, because most, but not all of our programming is now done via video and is then podcasted at paceradio.net. So if you want to watch our programming, you'll find us on the Pace Radio Network's Facebook page, plus the show's own page, and you'll find us live on the network's YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can find it all, video and audio, at paceradio.net.
Legacy 420 have an awesome array of cannabis-infused beverages, from pop to Nature's Nectar's teas, all in amazing flavors. What a selection! We even have a delicious mango-infused juice, and let me tell you, it's delicious.
Everything is infused in-house, so we buy our syrup from, the same place where everybody else buys their syrup for their pop, and the infusion is done in the lab. It's all canned here, labeled here, produced 100% on Tyndonega.
We have two lines of drinks. One's called our Nature's Nectar. That was our original line that we came out with. And then we also have a line under the Ready brand. We have them in 10 milligrams, 30 milligram, and 60 milligram cans.
What a great selection for a get-together with friends or after a long day. Remember, if you want to wet your whistle with on-site lab-tested products, come see your trusted partner. Legacy 420 out on your road.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
Welcome back to the Mushie Moment, streaming live to you here at paceradio.net, CBG TV, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Boxcast, and on Roku and Fire Stick.
Yay! Oh, goodness, this is so much fun chatting with Miriam.
Can I bring her back?
Of course.
Hello!
So we were chatting about observing just there before the break, and when we were all together, and Steve was going through his ceremony after mine. He was there desperately trying to analyze everything as he was in ceremony, and you said something that really, really stuck with him. And I've watched him struggle to learn and succeed in his learning, although we all always have more learning to do, but he's doing so well in this. And you told him that he doesn't need to analyze it, he just needs to observe that it's happening and what's being told to him. And boy, howdy, he's been working hard.
Yeah, it's changed my life, actually, learning to observe, not learning that I don't have to do anything but observe. because anytime I observed, I always thought, oh, I gotta. That's a hard program to break. That really is a hard program to break. But when you learn to observe and watch, you also learn there's a natural flow that sometimes we think we're helping, but usually we're not. So observing actually there's a book called Standing in Your Own Way. Observing enables you to get the hell out of your own way. It's changed my life. It really has. It's helped me with other relationships, like in friendships and relationships. It's making a huge difference. And thank you very much for stating it. It's funny because I remember the moment, when it ticked, like, because it ticked in my brain. It was like doink, it just stuck, and there was this thing, and it just kept coming around. Just observe. You don't have to. Just observe. You don't have to analyze. And boy, that was a hard loop to turn from a loop in my head of words into an action that quieted that loop of words. The observing, if you're not asking why leads to more questions, and sometimes you just don't need to know. It doesn't matter in the end, right? There's a lot of whys that do, but if you're always asking why, then you're wasting time, energy, and thought where you could be enjoying the peace of what everything is. You knew it would change my life, didn't you? I remember a couple specific spots, and one was me asking why about something, and you said you don't need to know. And my head didn't know how to take that.
And I think you turned around and said, but why don't I need to know?
There's certain things that you just, it's like it sticks in there because you're dropping a wrench into the normal pattern, and the normal pattern is actually skewed. And when you drop the wrench in and it buggers up the normal pattern, you can see that the pattern was skewed the whole time. And I have to really say thank you, because observing can be a life-changing, especially for anybody, honestly, anybody with PTSD, learning to observe. We see because we're hyper-vigilant and hyper-aware, but observing and seeing are two different things. We're taught to be hyper-vigilant and aware so that we can keep ourselves safe. Like people say, oh, I'm an empath. And there's a lady right now that describes it perfectly. It's not that you were born an empath because you were blessed with this ability to see and help. It's that was a coping mechanism for your trauma, so that you could understand from the feeling and vibration of people around you to keep yourself safe. If you take it out of the realm of trauma, it can be a superpower. But if it only ever resides in the realm of trauma, it can be something that tires you endlessly. So the observing, it just kind of pulls me out of that looking for the why, looking for the, okay, this is all got to go together. Why? It's like saying, wow, why does the river flow? And then spending your whole life trying to figure out why it flows, and you miss the fact that, wow, that's a beautiful flowing river. But that's enough of me babbling.
You are observing.
Go.
When you are observing, so you can observe that you are asking why. If you are in the observing, there is no judgment, and there is a space for everything. If you observe that you are asking why, you are observing that. You are not only on the question of asking why. Do you understand me?
Say that one more time.
Okay. It's, for example, if we can observe the pen, that means that we are not the pen. We are the observer. We are the subject, not the object. So inside of us, if we can observe our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations, that means that we are not that. We are who are observing that.
Ah.
Oh,
We are the observer.
oh,
That is conscious.
you just really got to the PTSD in my subconscious. Oh my God.
Yes.
In that,
Thank you.
when you sit on the observator, on the observation, when you sit on that, you can also observe that you are asking again why to everything, and it's okay because you are observing it. You are not going on your questions and on your doubts. You are observing it.
Yes.
It's that you stand in a different way, and that is the base of meditation. That is the base of life. Connect with that.
Well, I'll say something in there. As a PTSD person, like people talk about meditation and you just do this and you just do that. But I can tell you that as a complex PTSD that's started from a young age, that ability to bring my energy down to the point that you need to be at to meditate did not exist before this medicine. It did not exist in my reality. I had never experienced it, never felt it. I struggled with meditation. So for my meditation, instead of fight with it, I would just breathe. But, I'm not really slowing my thoughts, but I'm concentrating on my breath and I'm making myself better in it and hopefully building towards meditation. But through this medicine, what I realized is if you've never felt or been able to access, if that calm and quiet vibration has never existed in your entire life, then you don't even know it's there. So achieving it is pretty freaking hard, if not impossible. But through this medicine and learning to observe, learning to feel subtle, learning to unfeel all of the tension that I've carried is enabling me to reach that point. Like I'm confident now I'm finding as I meditate, my meditations are different. I'm going to where I always believed it was possible to go, but had never been able to achieve. And that comes with bringing that. Anybody that has complex PTSD or PTSD, their low level bar of relaxation will probably be most people's stress level. Right? So to be able to get down there, it's just not something that's possible. It takes some life-changing moments for that to be made possible. And for me, I got to say, this medicine, incredibly powerful. For it to be able to do that and show me that, it showed me what I need to work on and learn to be healthier and get better. And I've been on this path looking for a long time. So, anybody out there with PTSD, CPTSD, I'm going to recommend start looking down this type of a pathway, because there is a road to healing, and it doesn't just have to be medication. And this medicine has been leading me to an incredible healing. I'm observing it.
I second what Steve said. It's walking the path of CPTSD. I thought that I was protecting myself by staying broken, honestly, because I didn't want to face anything. So because I thought it would be harder to reface it again. But what really hit me with Miriam's explanation of observing is I think I finally got that. I finally got the fact that I can observe what happened to me and it's no longer me. It's not me. I see, you got me with what you said. And I can let it go. And I never thought that I could. I thought that it was going to be a lot more hurtful and a lot harder to let it go. And honest to God, when I say this, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. If I can do this, anybody can do this. Like, I was broken. Talk to anybody who knew me 5 years ago, they'll hate me because I was so broken. So if I can do this, anybody can do this.
Yeah, the medicine doesn't have any judgments. It's just a bunch of love waiting there to share itself and the knowledge and power of what love can do.
Yeah.
We don't really have any words. Like, I know for some people they're going to be going, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But we don't have any words in the English language that can really speak to the power of what is there. I've been medicated for a long time. I've been on lots of medications. None of them were healing. They were medications. They were helping me quiet the brain that was asking why. But they didn't stop the brain from asking why. And this medicine has made me calm in the space of just knowing that it's all okay. And I can learn why if I want, but why not just enjoy more of what is than ask why it is?
Yeah.
So you have some ceremony still, because you're going to be in Vancouver for a while longer. So there is the ability for any of my friends and people watching the show that are in the Vancouver area that if they wanted to, they could get a hold of you or get a hold of me. Oh, I don't have you. I didn't put your contacts up on here. Well, then they'll have to get a hold of me. We'll put them up after this show. But because you are doing ceremonies, you've got a space so you can come into Vancouver and do them.
Yes.
Are you still, if people wanted to go up to Squamish and do them up there, that's still available?
Yes, it works both.
Okay.
Even
Because that big first place we went to, that was sure a beautiful, the little river running and all of that. Boy, if I had the money, I'd be buying that place, and that would just become a whole retreat. That's all that would be. That was just beautiful being there in the nature like that. But yeah, if any of my friends out there are watching this, any of my Facebook people and that are interested in trying one of these healing ceremonies, and get a hold of me, I'll get you in touch with Miriam, and you can start your walk to
be a
heal.
blabbering idiot on camera, just like me.
Oh no, those are beautiful moments. They really are. When there's breakthroughs that happen, like those are so real and so beautiful. I know how it goes because I've dropped my tears on here already. But no, those are beautiful moments. When it's a life-changing thing like that, there's no faking those moments. That's something that, this video will be up here and it'll be on YouTube and it'll be there for many years to come. And this little thing here, this 1 hour section we're putting up, is going to help a lot of people find healing and find peace and find love. So these moments that are magic, where it shows the breakthroughs and shows the emotional content and shows the love and the healing, that's what this whole show is about. That's the reason we even do this. That's a priceless, precious moment. And honestly, I'm really glad we got it on camera. I'm glad it's there to share. I'm glad it's there for other people to see and know that healing is possible.
Me too.
Well, let's see if Miriam has anything to say. What have you got to say about your experience up here? Anything? What do you got?
After my experience, what? Sorry, pardon?
With your experience up here and you're helping the people you've helped, the ceremonies you've done, what have you found? What is it? If you could give me 3 takeaways from your experience up here as to how it's changed your life,
Okay.
what would they be?
Well, to flow is one of the things that I learn a lot being here, like in the ceremonies, speaking another language, flowing with who is going to help me to support the space for the ceremonies. Yes, I think that I am learning a lot to not be in control, like to not try to control everything, just like in this confidence and trust and flowing, and the people is coming, like the spaces for do the ceremony, everything like very easy because I am flowing. So I am very grateful for that. Other thing that I learned the last week is that we cannot make conclusions about anything. It's like when you feel that you understand something, then all the questions change. It's like a continued dancing. So yes, I am like more open because I am not making conclusions of the medicine, of my experience, of who I am, of who are the other. It's like just being open of all the things that are happening in the present moment. And what else? Hmm. And also, I think that the purpose of these sacred medicines is to remind us this love that we are. Like the medicine is inside of us. Like I feel that medicine comes to remember us. It's only a remember uh, that we have our own medicines, our own guidance, because there are many different paths uh, with a lot of pain because it's part of life. But that pain is like the gift to find our self love.
As long as we don't leave ourselves resonating in the pain, thinking we are the pain. We're not the pain.
We are
No,
not.
that's just, I just wanted to show this here.
This is Tara. This is your friend Tara, by the way. It says Facebook user, but I checked. It's Tara.
And Tara was you did one of the ceremony. You did the ceremony with Tara, so that was I thought that was it's pretty changing lives and the way you put that as to how it's changing you into letting control go and being in part of the flow, and that's truly in that when I do the medicine and I'm in that essence of love, that's the understanding that comes over me, that we can let go, that it everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And it's nice to stick our oars in the water and point to where we want to land. I don't want to land on the rocks. I want to land on the beaches. But trying to go, no, I'm taking this boat against the wind and I'm going to get it over there and I don't give a crap. If you're struggling that hard, you're going the wrong way.
And also another very important thing is the power of the community. I really feel like being in community is like medicine as well. Yes, I realize this importance that everybody we are always supported, and in other we can feel this support and we can share this support, and it's so healing to connect with our community. around the world. We
Yes.
are all brothers and sisters. It's like that.
Well,
Sometimes
when you do the medicine, you sure learn that.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lesson that you learn. That's part of the humbling killing of the ego, is learning that you're part of something that's way
And
bigger.
the medicine makes it easier to meet those people too. Because and it's not just about letting go when you're in ceremony. I've learned that the letting go is a lesson that we have to carry through all aspects of our life. Like we can't control it. So let go and observe and just, live life and be happy. And I have found that, I don't know what it's done, but I have, I am attracting people in the same community. I went to a documentary screening here in Halifax, Dose 2 actually, and of course I've got connections to people in Dose 1. So when questions were brought up about Dose 1, I was actually able to answer them because I have personal, close friendships with a lot of these people. And because of that, because I guess it's a code. Hey, she must be real. Now I find that the Halifax, society, people that saw me there and heard me answering questions are resonating towards me and seeking me out, because they understand that I'm not just full of whatever and not just saying I'm involved. I've come with proof, right? I know them all. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Living it,
Yeah.
living proof. Yeah. Wow. Well, we're at 12:56. So we should find out if there's anything else Miriam wants to say. As we put her on the spot.
Thank you.
This is where you're supposed to say, well, if anybody would like to do a ceremony, they're welcome. I'll be here till about the middle of July. I'll be on the West Coast, and you're welcome to get a hold of Steve or Cindy or myself, and we'll put the ways that they can get a hold of us, and then we can try and arrange it so that they can start on their journey to a life-changing, beautiful view of how things truly are.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh. How many minutes do I have to leave before I read the thing?
Oh, right now you should be reading.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's that time again. Sorry, I make myself laugh. Thank you for joining us here on the Mushie Moment with my co-host Cindy, myself, and our awesome guest Miriam Lopez from Mexico, but currently Squamish. We're proud to be coming to you live from paceradio.net, cbgtv.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Boxcast, Roku, and Fire Stick. And we'll see you next week here on the Mushie Moment.
Much love.
You're listening to the Pace Radio Network here at paceradio.net.
The opinions of the individuals during this broadcast are their own, and may not be the opinions of their group or other organizations they may be involved with. All medical advice during our broadcast is not a medical opinion and should be checked with your medical physician.
When you have a pain that's reached its peak, Legacy for 20, it's so unique. If organic cannabis is what you seek, here's your trusted partner 7 days a week. Suppository salves, vapes and drops, topicals, edibles, infused pop. Just when life seems like it ain't easy, at Legacy 420, enjoy a pop freezy. Lab tested products, make them the GOAT. Legacy 420 out on your road. Legacy 420 in Tyndonega Mohawk territory. Indigenous organic cannabis at its finest.
What do you find at paceradio.net? People advocating cannabis education.
Enjoy the buzz of legalization with Campbellford Lifestyle Shop. From lights to plant nutrients, books, consumption accessories, and more, we've got all your basics to grow or consume cannabis. Visit our info center or take a look at our piercing services and body jewelry, now available in-store through Campbellford Lifestyle Shop, 17 Bridge Street West, Campbellford.
Are you a cannabis content creator? Are you looking for a place to have your content seen? If you answer yes to both questions, then you need to check out cbgtv.com. CBGTV broadcasting to a worldwide audience. Find us at cbgtv.com.
We are people advocating cannabis education here at paceradio.net.